An article from the American Rifleman listed the U.S. Carbine M1 as the most produced American infantry arm of World War II, and is back in production today. The M1 Carbine and the M1 A1 paratrooper carbines are made today by Inland Manufacturing in Dayton, Ohio. The guns look great and capture the nostalgia and function of the originals made from 1942 to 1945. But carbines go much further than their use by the greatest generation during World War II. Here are some things you may not have known about the gun that started out as the U.S. Army's light rifle. The M1 carbine as a round is ballistically effective. The M1 carbine was designed to replace the M1911A1 in the hands of support troops, machine gunners, and whoever did not need a full-size rifle. No one doubts it is better than a pistol at any but the shortest of ranges, and unlike Marines at Frozen Chosen, you can use modern defensive ammo. America's most decorated soldier of World War II, Lieutenant Audie Murphy, used a field phone, a 50 caliber M2 Browning, and an M1 carbine when he fought off a German attack pretty much by himself on January 26, 1945. If you ever watched To Hell and Back, starring Medal of Honor recipient Murphy as himself, you can tell he really knew how to handle a carbine. During the early fighting in the Vietnam War, our main enemy, the Viet Cong, armed entire units with the M1 and M2 carbines, guns they took from the French, then from the Army of the Republic of Vietnam and local forces of the South Vietnamese. It was in this way that the guns given to our allies were used against our troops. The AK-47 became more common as more and more North Vietnamese got into the fight. The M1 was the only gun made specifically for U.S. airborne forces during World War II. The M1A1 carbine, with its pistol grip and folding metal stock, was adopted in May 1942 specifically for use of American airborne troops. Inland was the only original maker and produced over 140,000 during World War II. The M1 is no longer available in surplus, and the last big import wave of M1 carbines came in from Blue Sky and Arlington Ordnance decades ago. In 1963, about 240,000 M1 carbines were decommissioned and sold without magazines to NRA members for $20 each, $17.50 plus $2.50 shipping and handling. There is a large quantity of surplus carbines warehoused in South Korea, but there has been no success in getting them to our shores. Even though the M1 was invented at Winchester, they weren't the largest producer. That honor goes to Inland Manufacturing, division of General Motors, with over 2.3 million made. Winchester made 828,000, and several other companies helped out the war effort, making hundreds of thousands M1 carbines. Companies like IBM and Rock-Ola, yes, the jukebox maker, all joined in manufacturing the M1. The M1 was the U.S. military's first nighttime sniper rifle. When fitted with an ungainly infrared scope, the T3 carbine was used as a night fighting weapon in the closing days of the Pacific Theater of Operations during World War II. Original carbines, especially in high condition, are rare, and they are a collecting field unto themselves. Even beat-up guns go upward of $700 these days. In 2008, an Inland M1A1 paratrooper carbine sold at auction for over $20,000. But you can find more reasonably priced firearms at Smoke and Gun Works. Smoke and Gun Works, 8785 North Baileyville Road, Forreston, Illinois. For all your shooting needs, pay us a visit today and check out our 5-star nationally rated range. We are an essential business. For the Gun Doctor, I'm Tim Bivens.